So the law of attraction, what is it? That's the big question on today's episode of a new series that I've decided to come out with called Adventure Talks. Now, I've been planning to make this series now for months, years, I don't know. But it's been a dominating thought in my mind, and I thought, what better way to open up myself to YouTube by actually pursuing my ideas in the lane of the law of attraction. The law of attraction for me is something that I hold very close, because I truly believe that when you have your heart and your mind and everything set on achieving a goal, there is simply no reason why you cannot attain that goal. There is no reason. The only person that you're fighting against is yourself. There's no one else you're competing against. Only yourself. Once you realize that, you unlock a sense of responsibility, really a power that you didn't think was there, because that power is essentially the driving force behind everything you do. And what I mean by that is, let's take a successful person, a celebrity we may know, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Thomas Edison, all these different people who had ideas. It all started off with an idea, a single idea. However, that idea was turned into its physical equivalent through hard work, dedication, desire, and obsession. When you turn a desire into an obsession, and to the point where it consumes you, the chances of failure at the end goal is very slim. However, there is no doubt in my mind that you will fail along the way. But what we need to realize is that failure itself is an integral part of the process to success. And once you embrace failure, you no longer look at it as a negative thing, but rather a positive thing. You'll start to enjoy failure. Of course, there will be difficult paths to go down in life, and of course there will be difficult obstacles to overcome along those ways. Look at J.K. Rowling, for example. We have a woman who, her husband left her, she lost her mother, fell into a deep depression. However, it was in that depression where she found an interest that for however long might have captivated her interest at any given moment during the day, whether it be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, possibly even 10 hours. Those moments during the day where she wasn't thinking about all the negative shit in her life, but rather she was thinking about writing this story, writing these books, and it consumed her to the point where she wanted to do everything in her entire abilities to succeed in life. And I think that is actually a great thing. Depression, although we look at it as a really dark moment in one person's life, as much as it is, I hate to use the cliche saying, but every cloud has a silver lining. And when you look at it like that, depression can be a foundation to grow. And it seems to be that, you need a change of lifestyle, you need a change of mindset. And I think that a lot of people need to adopt this approach in life. And for me, a recent graduate from the University of Manchester, I'm in a situation where, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. In fact, no, I did know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I had to be unconventional about it. So I studied ancient history, went to uni, got the t-shirt and whatnot, and then, this was about a year ago now, and then I decided that I was going to go to China. Now there's a backstory to this, because essentially my dream as a human being, well, I have many dreams, but one of my career aspirations is to be a writer, simply because of the enjoyment of writing. No other reason. Obviously it would be nice to sell books, but I think that should never be the main purpose. It should always be the journey and the process. And for me, the journey and the process is writing literature, writing fiction. And I wanted to go to China to set myself in an environment where I can actually do that on a regular basis. So essentially, I wanted to go to China to learn the art of Wudang Kung Fu. Now you're probably thinking, that's a pretty absurd thing to do, Jason. And yeah, you're right, you know it is. But at the end of the day, we have to make absurd decisions in life. We have to do the unconventional. We have to go through the doors that we don't know what's on the other side, because often than not, you know, there are opportunities that we can't even perceive that exist on the other side of the door. And it's about taking risks in life and reaping the rewards, you know, when they come around. So for me, China seemed like, you know, this fantasy sort of dream. I'll go to China, I'll learn Kung Fu, I'll improve my physique, you know, I'll write every day. The idea that I had in my mind, a very sort of Grecian ideal, was, you know, to be on a quest for physical and mental perfection. Now that might seem like the most arrogant thing anyone could say, but at the end of the day, it really is not. If you have self-belief coupled with the right action is, you know, quite frankly, unrivaled. You can't, there is so much opportunity out there. And once we take responsibility for our actions and actually grasp these dreams in our hand, turn something intangible into its physical equivalent, it's highly possible. At the end of the day, impossibility is really an unfounded truth. It's a truth that's not supported by any factual evidence, because if you look on the evolutionary timescale and you look at different societies and different time periods of the on Earth, for example, because we don't know much about other planets and other civilizations. However, what we can posit is that if you look at the Romans and the Greeks, and who would have thought out of them that we'd be able to fly, you know, planes across from one country to the other? I mean, yeah, they may have had some ideas about that, but obviously it didn't happen until thousands of years later. And even when the Wright brothers, who came up with the first aeroplane, how many people doubted them? Loads of people doubted them, thought they were crazy, thought what they were doing was stupid, pointless, you know, get a real job, that sort of behaviour. And I think that negativity, those people will never succeed in life because they're not willing to chase dreams. And the Wright brothers, they had a desire to fly, and that desire turned into an obsession which consumed them. And I keep talking about this desire and obsession, you know, theory, because it is integral to the law of attraction. And I had these ideas running through my mind for the past year or so, but they never really solidified until I came across a few books, and one of them being Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is a very, very useful book. So taking wealth as an example, yeah, because that's what this book uses. It talks about various examples of people in life, like Henry T. Ford, who created the know, the first moving car, or the first car rather, despite the fact that I think they were German engineers, you know, they failed innumerable times, but it was his determination, you know, to tell them, look, do it again, just try again, because he had a dream and he wanted to turn that into a reality. And this trial and error is an integral process, and he probably loved it. His engineers didn't, but my God, when they came up with the end product, they would have been on fire. So I think that, yeah, Think and Grow Rich is a great book because it uses various examples of people who, you know, set themselves up in life by having a dream and chasing it with everything they've got. And it also uses a very important thing called a goal card. Now, a goal card is essentially a piece of paper that you carry on yourself, and you write down a set of goals, dreams that you wish to attain, and you set a date by those dreams, and you look at it every morning when you wake up and every time you go to bed. Essentially what it is, and what it's trying to do is to rewire the way you think so that whatever goal it is you have in mind becomes a dominating thought in your mind, and you will do anything within your power to achieve it. See, I think this is great, and I think that more people need to know about it, because if they did, we'd have, you know, especially my generation, I'm 22 years old, we seem to be so concerned about, actually, I take that back, there are many entrepreneurs my age, you know, who do things on YouTube and social media and all this sort of stuff, but there are also those local, like, normal folk who, you know, are consumed by self-doubt at the end of the day. And I think there's more to that. Yeah, I truly think there is more to that than, you know, idling about, you know, not taking action, not doing what is necessary to be done. So I think that, yeah, read Think and Grow Rich, because it's a great book, and there are many others like The Alchemist, which, you know, has hidden meanings and stories within, which is all essentially about chasing your dreams and turning them into their physical equivalent. And for me, right now, while I was in China learning Kung Fu, it was great for the first 2 months, and then I picked up a shoulder injury, which, you know, debilitated me. I wasn't able to train properly, and on top of that, there were specific rules in place which bugged me, being a recently retired university student who liked to get pissed on the weekends. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, that's not what I was there for. I was there to study. But see, I thought the school, you know, the Temple Academy or whatever it was called, was on the top of the mountain. Therefore, I would be, you know, away from distractions. However, it was at the foothills, and in the town there was a bar and a nightclub, and you know me, I'm no stranger to temptation, and yeah, quite frankly, I felt somewhat trapped with the curfews that were set in place. You know, there's an 8 o'clock bedtime, not 8 o'clock bedtime, that'd be ridiculous. Yeah, the gates to the academy shut at 8 PM, and there was no nightlife outside of the school. So, in that sense, you can imagine what it feels like to be trapped, training 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, when there is temptation. It would have been fine if I was at the top, because, you know, the only thing that would be there would be my writing and my training, but obviously my shoulder went, and the place was pretty strict, but nonetheless it was an experience, and I experience the positives and I experience the negatives, and I take that on the chin. And I got 11,000 words done, because it's not great for 6 months, but it was the best that I could do. I essentially wrote those 11,000 words in the single month that I had. Well, no, actually it was over 2 months with planning and whatnot. Yeah, I wrote those 11,000 words over 2 months. So I don't think it was too bad. I mean, I had a month and a half off to travel because the school was closed for that period. So, some little dogs, little cuties. But yeah, I was pleased with what I achieved, and I think I'm going to call it a day there on that episode of the law of attraction and what it means to me, and how I think that, we can use it in our lives. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, because I hope to come out with more content. I hope to chase my own dreams and be more productive in life, and stop being taken in by distraction. And I hope you do the same, and give me some thoughts on what you think and how the law of attraction is helpful for you.